Dear DHS, remember the time when I got sick during post-prom and regurgitated into a bush? Yeah, that was fun. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you for all the memories you've allowed me to create within your grounds. Also for the memories I've made outside of school because they were with people that I'm friends with because of going to the school. I also want to thank you for all the lessons you taught me. I'll start with freshman year. From the very first day I stepped inside the school, I knew that the next 4 years were going to be years I would never forget. When I walked in and saw the same people I've known since middle school like Zoe and Jasmine, it was probably one of the best days of my life since I knew I wouldn't have to start fresh or without any foundation like I did when I first came to Connecticut in the 6th grade. I even made a new friend, Annalise. I went to my first ever football game with them, and freshman year was the first time I ever even invited friends over to my house. Freshman year was just the year that opened up a lot of opportunities to try new things. Honestly, if I had the chance to go back to freshman year and change anything, I wouldn't. From non-stop talking with all my friends in Miss Rice's class after lunch to classes I only had one friend in. Even those times when we had to do the school day on Zoom, I still wouldn't change anything about freshman year. One thing I can say I've learned from freshman year is that I can still accomplish a lot of things without having to take everything so seriously. Next up is sophomore year, and trust me when I say that year was probably the worst school year of my entire life. It wasn't even because of the schoolwork. Isn't that crazy? Well, maybe it was, but only for one class, which would be geometry, but I don't want to get into that right now. Everyone told me that sophomore year was going to be tough, but I didn't think that they were talking about your life outside of school during sophomore year. I should have thought more outside of the box on that one. This year was filled with a lot of problems, especially during the beginning, but it was also filled with good. I had my first really bad panic attack, and I won't get too into detail, but long story short, I made a very dumb decision and paid for it for about a week. There's only one person that I've ever told about that, and she helped me tremendously, and I'm forever grateful to her. I also experienced my first love, but I don't want to talk about that either. I even joined softball. I don't really know how to feel about that one, but it is what it is. I would say that if there was a chance to do things differently during this time, I would change things, but at the same time, those experiences made me who I am now, so I'm a little bit indifferent about that one. A life lesson that I learned from this year was to not trust everyone so easily. Junior year, what can I say about you? Would the words I would live this year over and over and over again be enough of an explanation of how I feel? Junior year was the best year academically and socially. I actually tried to pay attention in all my classes except a push. That was really rough, but I still passed somehow. But I made stronger and deeper connections with people. I even met some new people. I can wholeheartedly say that if I was offered $1 million every day for a year or reliving junior year, I would definitely pick the $1 million, but junior year was definitely the best time I've had at Derby High School. From the pep rallies to going to games after school to getting my first job. It's ironic how I can't really name any specific things that were really great about this year, but that might just be because there wasn't any on and off good times. My junior year was just one big blob of happiness. A lesson I've learned from this year is to not hold on to negative things because then you won't be able to enjoy yourself in the present. Now finally at senior year. Hooray! This year was probably mid if I'm being completely honest. People say senior year will be the easiest because everyone's ready to leave and no one really wants to give out work and getting through this year would be no problem. They couldn't be any more wrong. I mean, it was kinda easy in the beginning, but towards the end, everything got more stressful. Senior year was just full of getting everything ready for college, and I still don't think I'm fully ready. And on top of that, my main group is starting to wither away. One friend moved to Ansonia, one just left the school scene completely. I mean, I've made other friends and they're amazing, but I think this year would be way better if they were still here. The best way I can describe my social life is it was a really poorly built roller coaster, but I'm glad it's finally over. This is a year I could confidently say I would change, but nonetheless, I still had a good experience, like going to prom and pretty much every day at lunch. The main lesson I would take away from this year is to be glad for being able to live the life I already have because it could definitely be worse. Now that I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover while going over my years at Derby High School, I just want to say one last thank you to all my friends, teachers, staff, and the school for allowing me to have a successful 4 years. I couldn't imagine having these experiences at any other school. I've had to do a few of these this year, but this is my last call to action. Anyone who reads this coming into their freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior year, do me a favor and live life how you want to live it because it's yours and no one can change that. Goodbye, Derby High School.